the last video, there were several comments and questions about why I didn't countersink the cheeks of the bronze before I peened the pin. So I think the problem lies in that there is a confusion between the difference between pin peening and rivet peening. So today, in this short video, I'm going to show the difference between the two and demonstrate both. I've put together this little drawing of the two to demonstrate the difference between rivet peening and peen pinning. So in rivet peening, we do want to countersink into the material. So here's a countersink tool. You can see that's how that would be created, like such. And then a pin or rivet is put through there, like this rivet here. And then one would peen on top of this, and what you would do is you would create a mushroom head out of that pin so that you would have something that would look something like that when you're finished. Now with pin peening, the pin is a very close tolerance to the hole that you would want. Now in my case, because I was turning my pins down, I was able to get my pin just a few thousandths smaller than the hole. So I didn't really need to actually make the hole larger. The other thing that one can do is to use a reaming tool like this. And you can see that it is a very slow taper to it compared to this 90-degree countersink tool. And what you do is you would ream that hole so that you would just have a few thousandths more on each side of the outside of that. And then you would peen it down, and basically what you do is peen it, which would expand that pin very, very tightly in there, and then you would trim it off flush, like so. So this is what your final pin would look like in pin peening. And pin peening is very common. All of you probably have chef knives or steak knives that may have pins peened into there, and that they're perfectly smooth with the surface. So this is pin peening, and that's what I was doing with these cheeks for my bronze. So what we'll do first with these is we'll ream them like so. It doesn't take very much to open that hole up just a little bit. So I've started putting my block together here, and I've already reamed the cheek on this one. So now I'll put this on there. And some of you may have noticed, if you're watching last week's video, that I've added this little fob to it, that the shackle then will go through here as opposed to relying just on that pin. And then it's just a matter of peening this down. Before peening, I trimmed the pins down so that they protruded about 3/32 of an inch. You can see by grinding it down there and sanding it that the pin virtually disappears. Now eventually I will put this through some different grits of sanding and end up polishing it just like this block is here. Now let me show you how to do rivet peening. So what I'm going to rivet together here is this is the gooseneck assembly of the boom that will attach to the mast at this point. So I've already got one rivet placed through the hole there. And so I'll put the other rivet through. Well, first of all, you can see how it is countersunk there. And it's also countersunk on the opposite side, so I'll slide the rivet in there. There we go. So I'm going to get this on the anvil here. And now what we'll do is to peen this down. Now I'm going to start with the flat side of the peen hammer first so I can get a mushroom started, and eventually then I'll use the ball part of the peen hammer to peen it over. So there we go. That's the difference between pin peening and rivet peening. And I hope that clears any questions up that you may have had. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you the next time on The Art of Bookbuilding.